Plus, a report about draft healthcare legislation is stirring up controversy in Alberta. And a reunion almost 10 years in the making for a family of Syrian refugees living in Lethbridge.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jackie Scantlebury.
Hello, and thank you for being here. We begin with breaking news. The Alberta government has invoked the Charter of Rights and Freedoms Notwithstanding clause to prevent court challenges to a trio of laws impacting transgender youth and adults. The clause is part of Bill 9, now before the legislature. The Notwithstanding clause allows governments to override charter rights if deemed necessary as a way to balance the authority of both politicians and the courts. The clause relates to laws that put restrictions on student pronoun changes at school, on girls' and women's sports, and on medical therapies for young people looking to transition. Two of those bills are facing court challenges on the grounds they are harmful and unconstitutional. Premier Danielle Smith says the move is necessary to protect children's health and well-being.
As a government, we have a responsibility to provide clarity, a responsibility to protect all children and youth, and a responsibility to give parents, not institutions or courts, the primary role in life-changing decisions about their children.
It is the second time in 3 weeks the Alberta government has turned to the Notwithstanding clause to prevent a court from overturning its laws. The province also used the clause, of course, to force teachers back to work. Opponents call today's move cowardly and an attack on trans rights. We have more reaction coming up at 6. Meanwhile, a report about draft healthcare legislation is stirring up controversy in Alberta. The Globe and Mail reports the UCP wants doctors in the public system to be free to offer private services at the same time in a parallel private market. The Globe says it has obtained draft legislation that would transform the Alberta Healthcare Insurance Act. The Premier and Health Minister would not confirm anything about any potential legislation today. Supporters of such a system say that it would allow patients who are willing to pay to avoid long wait times. Critics say it would lead to longer wait times and undermine universal health care.
I'm not scared of Albertans. I'm willing to go to Albertans and see what they think of this. So will the Premier commit today to dissolve this legislature and cause an election on this issue?
Well, Mr. Speaker, no. But let me tell you what we will do. We are going to continue to create the very best environment for doctors and specialists to work here.
Premier Ralph Klein's PC government proposed a similar system called the Third Way. That was back in 2006, but abandoned the idea amidst public outcry. Well, Gina Martin has the forecast for us today, and Gina, quite a bit cooler.
Yes, and drizzly out there, at least this morning for the Lethbridge area. It was not a great start from a visibility standpoint, but that system is now starting to push up to the north, enveloping Calgary and the surrounding area. And this has actually caused some watches and warnings in that area. We got freezing rain warning for Calgary and areas to the east, and that transitions to a fog advisory the more east you go into Saskatchewan. So if that's part of your driving over the next several hours here, it's going to be not ideal. I would wait until tomorrow if you can. Mostly cloudy right now. We're at a high of 6 degrees. Coming up, Jackie, we'll have more on that 5-day forecast that includes a lot of sunshine and a warm up on the temperatures.
All right. Thank you, Gina. A tearful reunion at the Calgary airport last night. A family of Syrian refugees who live in Lethbridge welcomed their daughter and her family to Canada. It's an arrival they've been waiting on for the past 10 years. Carson Marsouk reports.
It was an emotional reunion for a Syrian refugee family at the Calgary airport Monday night.
أول مرة أكون هيك مبسوطة يعني أول فرحة لإلي يعني تكون.
This is the best day of my life. I never felt this happy in my life to gather all the family together.
Bara Mohammed has not seen her family for nearly a decade. She, along with her husband and 2 children, were reunited Monday for the first time since 2016.
So happy to see my daughter to be with my all kids here. You know, I'm very happy with her kids, with her husband, to build a new future here in Canada.
They don't get struggle or ever feel if they're ever gonna wake up again from what they have faced or what we faced before. I'm very happy for them. This is the best day of my life to see everyone is in here.
After fleeing conflict in Syria in 2012, the family took refuge in Jordan before coming to Canada in 2016 and settling in Lethbridge. but her application was denied due to concerns around her husband's Facebook activity, sparking a decade-long fight with the immigration system. After 2 more applications were denied, the family went to the federal court challenging the refusal, and it was overturned.
We don't typically undertake these sorts of applications unless there are very exceptional circumstances. And this case was absolutely an exceptional one. So certainly not common. And the path to success, as was the case here, was a long one.
The family is excited to welcome them home to Lethbridge.
I recently bought a house in Lethbridge, and I renovated the basement for her. I bought a bunch of stuff for her and for her kids. Yeah, I prepared a lot for them, and it happened, and I'm so happy.
Sadly, while waiting for visa approval, her father died before she could be reunited. Since 2015, Canada has resettled more than 100,000 Syrian refugees.
أنا هلا حاسة حالي بحلم يعني ما عم أحس إنه هذا حقيقة اللي عم يصير.
I feel like I'm dreaming. I can't believe it's actually happening.
Karsmar Suk, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Alberta is legalizing fenced-in hunting of farm-raised elk and deer. The policy change is buried in a larger bill dealing with everything from driver's licenses to accrediting foreign professionals. The legislation removes Alberta's long-standing ban on hunting domestic elk or deer and will now allow producers to operate what the province calls harvest preserves. Those are fenced properties where clients pay to shoot farm-raised animals. The government says the change will bring much-needed new revenue to the struggling game farming industry. Wildlife advocates warn that the plan raises ethical concerns and could increase the spread of chronic wasting disease.
It's not hunting. It's shooting fish in a barrel. We have concerns over the continued spread of CWD. There's still interaction. Because there is only a single fence on these places, there's still interaction between truly wild cervets and the farmed ones. And there's still disease can be transmitted back and forth.
Fenced-in hunting is already allowed in Saskatchewan and Quebec and in about half of the U.S. states. Lethbridge Transit is getting ready to roll out a holiday bus in support of the Christmas Hope campaign. For the second year in a row, the holiday bus will be at 5 community events collecting donations for the campaign. Visitors are encouraged to bring non-perishable food items and unwrapped new toys to go to families in need. The Christmas Hope campaign is aiming to help more than 9,000 people this holiday season.
It's a fantastic campaign, and we're very happy to be partnered with them. It's meaningful for not only us, but our drivers and others who depend on the campaign. So very optimistic and, very meaningful to us, close to the heart.
Not only does it raise funds and food and toys for our Christmas Hope campaign, but it is a spectacle. It is something that really draws people's eyes to the festivity of the season, but also to the need to support others. And so having the bus at so many good community events, city locations, it is really a great opportunity for us to get the word out on top of raising the supports that we need to help local families.
The holiday bus will make stops at the downtown BRZ, Christmas tree lighting on Thursday, Glow Lethbridge, the Nikioko Japanese Garden, and the Lethbridge Hurricanes game. Tourism Lethbridge hopes to shine a light on local businesses this holiday season. It's bringing back its Snow Much Love campaign to promote shopping at small businesses. It's the second time Tourism Lethbridge is rolling out the campaign. Participating businesses will have signs with QR codes for customers to sign. When someone visits 5 businesses, they will be entered in a draw to win over $500 in prizes. Tourism Lethbridge hopes this will get more locals and visitors shopping at small businesses.
We are really trying to get this as a citywide initiative that can, help locals explore different things that are in our backyard that maybe they haven't gotten a chance to do yet. And of course, visitors to come and gain some insights that locals can give them.
The campaign kicks off Friday as part of the Festival Square Christmas tree lighting, and it runs until January 31st. The City of Lethbridge is putting out a call to local youth groups to help with this year's Christmas tree collection program. For the past 30 years, this collaboration has raised funds for local youth groups while helping residents dispose of trees and divert them from the landfill. The city is looking for a youth group to collect the trees on January 10th and deliver them to designated drop-off sites. The group will then receive $10,000 for their work. To submit a proposal, you can visit the city's website. A curbside battery collection program is rolling out in Lethbridge today. The pilot program provides a safe, simple, and convenient option for residents to dispose of household batteries. Now, the batteries will be picked up the same day as your scheduled curbside organics cart. To participate, you're asked to stick tape over the positive terminals of your battery and place them in a resealable plastic bag. Put them on top of your green cart for pickup. Do not place the bag inside your cart. The pilot program will run until November 28th. The province will be testing the emergency alert system tomorrow. The alert is set for 1:55 p.m. on television, radio, website, social media, and the Alberta Emergency Alert mobile app. Regular testing is typically held every May and November and keeps Albertans informed during emergencies like tornadoes, wildfires, floods, and amber alerts. The province is urging people to download the app and make sure they have supplies on hand for emergencies. Those include water, non-perishable food, flashlights, batteries, and a first aid kit. Coming up after this break, Gina is back with your 5-day forecast. Plus, the Alberta First Responders Mental Health Conference is underway, and we will tell you about that next.
Welcome back. Wow, stunning shot here facing west on our sky cam showing the clearing approaching, but it was a very gloomy day out there for the most part. We did see in the morning hours, especially just right during that morning commute, that freezing fog in the air. A lot of that has moved out, but we're still dealing with the clouds, but temperatures are a little all over the place right now with a low pressure system moving in. A weak low pressure system, but it's making an impact in parts of south central Alberta, including Calgary. But you can see some decent temperatures in Milk River at 8 degrees right now. Lethbridge is a little cooler at 3. We did get up to 5 earlier this afternoon, hoping for a high of 6, but I think that 5-degree high is probably as good as it's going to be for today. Tomorrow, we gradually start to warm up even more. 7 degrees for your high tomorrow, but double-digit temperatures are in store as we get into the back half of the work week as a nice ridge of high pressure starts to settle in. So just give it a little bit of time. Tomorrow's a bit of that buffer day before we get back to those above seasonal temperatures. Like I mentioned, though, weak low pressure system over parts of southern Alberta right now, and that's triggered a few warnings and advisories. What you're seeing in the light blue there for Calgary and areas to the northeast of the city are freezing fog warnings, or freezing rain, and then fog advisory in the gray, in the gray to the east of us. Is it Monday or Tuesday? I'm having a hard time deciding here. My language certainly sounding like I'm having a case of the Mondays. This is a 12-hour loop here, so I just wanted to show earlier what we were dealing with. We did see from the southwest over the Rockies a little bit of that freezing fog earlier this morning, but a bulk of it, again, enveloping Calgary and pushing more to the northeast into parts of rural Alberta. But this is what we're going to see in store for us in our upper air pattern. There in that little light blue circle there, that's our low pressure system. So again, just embedded in the jet stream here, and it'll dissipate quite quickly later tonight. Then there's that nice ridge setup starting to build into Thursday and then into a more flat, what we call zonal flow as we get into Friday and Saturday. But we're on the nice warm side of that jet stream, so that will produce some nice, like I mentioned, above seasonal temperatures, good clearing starting by tomorrow, so expect sunshine for the rest of the week here. Winds could be a little gusty on Friday there. You can see it's a little intense right along that solid green line, which is the core of the jet. And then we start to see more of that cold air start to push down, and that could intensify winds even more on Saturday for the Lethbridge area. But what does that look like on the surface? Well, we see the snow around Calgary right now, some cloud tonight, but that clearing really starting to kick into high gear for Wednesday morning there. And then it's nothing but sunshine for the rest of tomorrow and into much of Thursday as well. Maybe a little bit of light cloud coverage, but you're going to see a good amount of sunshine, and those winds will help fuel up the temperatures as well into some nice positive territory. Showers in the East Kootenay tonight down to 0, picking up to 5 tomorrow with that freezing drizzle. Then on the other side of the mountains in the Crow's Nest Pass, -3 with a chance of flurries tonight, mainly sunny up to 4 for Wednesday, and then Medicine Hat, a little bit of instability tonight, clearing nicely for Wednesday there. Like I mentioned, we get to those double-digit temperatures starting on Thursday. Look at that, highs of 11 degrees Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
A major gathering focused on supporting the mental health of first responders is underway. It's the second annual Alberta First Responders Mental Health Conference. This is the first time it's in Calgary, building on a sold-out event last year in Edmonton and another conference in Eastern Canada earlier this year. The event caters to first responders, whether they're police, fire, EMS, or dispatch. Many organizations say they are seeing rising rates of burnout, PTSD-related injuries, and staff shortages, making mental health supports more urgent than ever.
First responders, like all people in uniform, are trauma-exposed professionals, see the world through a different lens and respond in a different way. They think about the world in a different way, and therefore they needed to be treated in that unique way, respecting who they are, their training, and some of the things they see.
The keynote speaker was Olympian and physician Dr. Haley Wickenheiser, who talked about resilience and the importance of long-term wellness. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5. People are getting a chance to see parts of Rogers Place not normally accessible to the public. We have sports next. Lethbridge Hurricanes, they are about halfway through their BC road trip, and they're as far west as they can go tonight. They take on the Victoria Royals. It's the only meeting between the two this season. Victoria is in the middle of the pack in the Western Conference, currently in 6th, but they are struggling right now, mired in a 4-game losing streak. Lethbridge, meanwhile, they're on their best stretch of the season so far. Puck drop is at 8. Next week, CHL USA Prospects Challenge is getting some more Southern Alberta representation. Medicine Hat Tigers forward Liam Ruck has been added to Team CHL. He's averaging a point per game this season and is projected for a 2nd or 3rd round pick in the upcoming NHL entry draft. The Prospects Challenge is November 25th in Calgary and November 26th in Lethbridge. After cleaning up the pens and dirt at Rogers Place, the Oilers Entertainment Group says the PBR Bulls will return for another year.
It's moonwalk from Thompson Rodeo. Let's go!
National Finals will buck back into Edmonton November 13th and 14th of 2026. This past weekend, Maple Creek's Jared Parsonage was crowned the 2025 PBR Canada champion with 4 rides eclipsing 8 seconds. PBR Canada says more than 17,000 people attended the 2-day finals. Tickets for next year's PBR return go on sale this Friday. Well, people are getting a chance to see parts of Edmonton's Rogers Place not normally accessible to the public. Public tours are now being offered.
All right, so we're gonna head into the star dressing rooms right now. And so, like I mentioned, this is where all the celebrities, when they come to town, Katy Perry, Brad Paisley, this is where they get ready before a big concert.
Guides take visitors to areas of the arena that are usually off limits to most. Some of the stops include the Oilers Hall of Fame room and the view high from above the rink from the press box. For hockey fans, the highlight of the tour is often sitting on the players' bench and seeing where the team walks from the ice to the dressing room. The dressing room itself, though, it is not part of the tour.
It's pretty rare that we don't have somebody in the Oilers dressing room, whether that's players or coaches. So at this time, to keep the tours readily available throughout the month, we have held back on the dressing room. It could be something we include in the future.
Tours are not available on game days or when other events are happening. Tickets for the Classic Tour, they run around $20 for youth, $30 for an adult. Lululemon is revealing Team Canada's look for the 2026 Milan Cortina 2026 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games. The Vancouver-based clothing retailer revealed its collection this morning, which features an array of puffy parkas, snow pants, hats, and scarves that convey patriotic cheer. Dark reds, cool greens, and a swirling pattern that draws inspiration from our country's landscapes. The 2026 Winter Games are slated to run February 6th to 22nd, and they are followed by the Winter Paralympics from March the 6th to March 15th. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, the mystery of BC's missing crab bait has been solved. More on that when we come back. We now have evidence of wolves in British Columbia pulling crab traps out of the sea to eat the bait inside. This is a sea wolf pulling the line on the trap to get it out of the water. The wolf then picks up the trap with its mouth, moves it to shallower water, and eats the bait inside it. Researchers say they thought the traps were actually being damaged by marine mammals and set up the cameras to find out why. And they were shocked to find out a sea wolf was behind it. The cameras also recorded a second sea wolf pulling up a crab trap in a very similar way earlier this year, and that is leading researchers to believe other wolves in the local pack may have learned from each other. Wow. Thank you for sharing this time with us. Now, here's the early edition of the CTV National News.